He likes the Dallas Stars. Congrats to Texas Hockey. And his NFL team, even though he's from top left Canada, he's the bottom right team in the United States of America. He loves the Miami Dolphins. Well, today, Bubba Gumpino, the former ship painter, our Canadian representative on this particular program, our Dolphins fans representative on this particular program, can go ahead and celebrate a massive dub because it is official. Ladies and gentlemen, Odell Beckham Jr. is now a member of the Miami Dolphins.
Oh.
It started getting leaked this morning. The newsbreakers started saying OBJ is going to the Dolphins. He's doing this. There was an $8 million number that was tossed out there. Then there was a $3 million number that was tossed out there. That's an incentive-laden contract for Odell Beckham Jr. to join the Ferrari-laden offense of the Miami Dolphins. Do we think McDaniel's going to be able to do something? OBJ is the number 3 overall wide receiver? Yeah, we think that's the case. They got Tyreek Hill, who's an actual cheetah in a human fashion. They got Jalen Waddle. That guy's got a sweet celebration. Then, now, they have Odell Beckham Jr., a Super Bowl winner, a man who's obviously has records with how he started his career, had success in Baltimore, was liked in Baltimore, was in Los Angeles, had success in Los Angeles, was liked in Los Angeles. Cleveland, I think he was liked by his teammates in Cleveland, did not have much success. And then, obviously, with the Giants, we all know how that whole thing went. Him going to Miami get you zeked up, Bubba Gumpino. How do you feel about it?
I am so juiced about this sign. 1 year, $3 million. I mean, are you kidding me?
Hell
For
yeah.
OBJ with those hands. Unbelievable. This offense just keeps getting better,
Doesn't it feel like OBJ, whenever he was in L.A., was scoring touchdowns every single week?
Oh, yeah.
I assume he loved being in L.A. Miami's an OBJ town, is it not?
Oh, yeah.
Perfect spot. Him and Jalen back together. What happened when they were together last? They win a Super Bowl?
I saw that post. I saw Jalen Ramsey go, what happened last time we were together, And then they were dapping up on the sideline. They won a Super Bowl for the Los Angeles Rams.
Whoa.
Now, obviously saying the addition of Odell Beckham Jr., so that means they're going to win a Super Bowl, might be something that people would think would be said 4-5 years ago. But I don't think that's true. Still got the juice. He's not going to have the coverage shaded towards him at all. He's got the opportunity to kind of feast with Tyreek Hill clearing some shit out. Same with Jalen Waddle. With McDaniel's offense, with him being able to be in motion beforehand, this is just another added piece to a machine that has been tough to keep up with throughout the majority of the NFL season last year. Remember, they hung a 70-piece on a team. Now, when it was negative 15 in Kansas City, they weren't able to handle it.
Yep.
Will this help that situation? Maybe. But other than that, I like the move. Love the move. And congrats to the Dolphins, who lose Christian Wilkins on defensive side.
Yep.
You're going to have to figure that out. They have some situations on defensive side they're going to have to figure out. But you add another piece to a weapon, I like it.
Yes,
A lot for the Dolphins. Allegedly, Tom Pelissero is reporting he turned down more money elsewhere to go to the Dolphins. 1 year proof-it deal maybe for OBJ.
Probably turned down money from New England. But also, for the Dolphins, it feels like they've gotten these unbelievable players for so cheap. Like Odell being $3 million. I think they got Poyer for $2 million. They obviously had, to let go some of their bigger pieces like Wilkins, like Andrew Van Ginkel, of course, as we all know, like Jerome Baker. But the dudes that they slid in there also very good. And yeah, that is tough. Did forget about that photo that was taken in Miami by Odell Beckham Jr. and the New York Football
That was the curse.
Giants.
That's when the curse
What
started.
are you
That's
talking
when the
about
curse
when they were
started.
on a boat in Tim's?
It's doing some other stuff too. I mean, you could zoom in on some of those hands.
Whoa,
I don't
whoa,
know
what
if
are
they
you
were
talking
just-
What are you talking about?
Pull it back up. You want to do
Scuba
it?
diving?
We can do it.
I don't think I've zoomed in on any hands. I've just seen a bunch of dudes looking cool on a yacht, which obviously this particular photo has been one that Giants fans don't love, because they were on a run. They were doing great.
I loved it personally.
Yeah, well, you're a Packers fan, obviously. Reaped the benefit of that. I assume many others love it as well. But Giants fans say this is the one.
Yeah.
This is when it all happened. This is when it was ruined. So OBJ is not the part of the problem. I think it was the boat that they were on that probably jinxed the entire season.
Wow.
But OBJ loves warm weather. OBJ likes the bright lights, and he's getting a lot of that with the Miami Dolphins, Ty.
Yeah, I mean, why not? I'm sure a lot of teams in the NFL would say, hey, if you give me Odell Beckham for $3 million, they'd be, charging to the front of the line to try to do so. But it is kind of interesting that this happens like every year with OBJ.
What?
Now it seems like, well, every fan base is like, hey, we want OBJ, we want OBJ, and then front offices are just like, yeah, well, we don't want OBJ. And then someone eventually does grab him, and I hope he does play well.
He's good for a good 400 yards, 3-4 touchdowns.
That's what I'm saying. Like
had
that,
almost 600 last
that
year.
didn't used to be,
just came back from major surgery.
That didn't used to be the OBJ stat line. It was, hey, this guy's going for over 1,000 yards, and he's going to have at least 9 or 10 touchdowns. I hope he gets back to that. I think in this offense, he has a much better chance to do that. But, I mean, the NFL...
Think about Tyreek Hill and OBJ. Motion this way, motion this way, and then all of a sudden you got Waddle coming out, Mostert coming out, and then it's just like, who are you? What's going on? Whoom. All of a sudden, OBJ can feast his little slant underneath with Tyreek Hill opening it all up with all eyes on Waddle out of the backfield. It's just like a plethora of weapons for McDaniel to use that massive brain. I mean, Gumpy, I think right now you should be thinking Super Bowl or bust.
Whoa.
Yeah?
Absolutely. Been thinking it all offseason already. Chop Robinson. The only issue here is how quick can Bradley Chubb and Jalen Phillips get back from their injuries.
Ooh, boy.
That is a massive question mark.
There are some big injuries.
They're doing well. The rehab's going well. And Chop Robinson, he's one of the top defensive players in the draft.
No big deal. You're just going to have to win games, 70 to 63 this year.
Hey,
well, that's what they had to do.
Fun to
They
watch.
can do it.
Yeah, it will be fun to watch. Dolphins are going to be must-see TV. That's great. Maybe we'll see them on TV more.
They'll be in the playoffs.
Black Friday, perhaps.
Well, the playoffs, the issue with the playoffs is if they end up having to go to a time that has
They need home field.
Arctic rush coming in. If Miami can host an entire playoff run with the glitz and the glamour down there,
man.
think about the celebrities that would be coming through
Tom
to those
Cruise.
games.
Yeah, Cruz.
It has been a long
Babe,
time
Beckham.
since Miami was a destination, though, that players were wanting to go sign.
Now,
like
that-
we used to have to overpay everybody.
You're talking about football-wise.
Yes.
Yeah, because Miami over the last, since COVID became like
Blew up.
the place where everybody wanted to go. And now that the football team is doing well, that's good news. Now Odell Beckham Jr. is allegedly taking less money to go down there. Maybe that will start a trend. They're going to have to win, though. And McDaniel knows that. His conversation with Chop after he got drafted in his office, when he was doing the tour, guy's always himself.
Oh, yeah.
I don't think we've ever caught McDaniel not being McDaniel. And I love everything about him. Team loves him too, right? There's been no chatter about the team turning their back on McDaniel after what happened in Kansas City, right?
No, just the defense hated Fangio. That was all.
Yeah, and there was that clip from HBO Hard Knocks in season where McDaniel walked over to the D-backs and he was chirping, trying to get the boys going, and none of the D-backs turned around and listened to him.
Yeah, but there's
That was because they were so pissed off with Fangio's shit.
Yeah.
That's all that was.
I'm just saying.
Fangio has been around a long time, has had a lot of success, did not have much with the Miami Dolphins defense. They allegedly did not get along. He's now with Philadelphia. They're begging for a new DC up there. That's a nice little parade for Fangio going back home.
Who's the new DC?
Weaver from Baltimore.
Oh, yeah, Anthony.
Yeah, so him and
Tony Weaves.
Yeah, Tony Weaves.
He's a dog.
Weaves is a dog.
Him and McDonald obviously did a great job last year. The Odell Beckham Jr. connection with Baltimore obviously reigns true. What is this type of guy? Teammates loved him. Remember, Odell got along very well with that Baltimore Ravens team.
Yeah.
Knew his role, too. Like, hey, I'm not the guy. Very comfortable with it. Could bring some good veteran leadership